All right, what's up, y'all? Back at it again. Just got done with pretty intense pool day, and what I've been noticing, or at least, when I'm doing these pool days, or when I'm exercising in general, one of the things that I've noticed, because I always come to like the bigger gym here at my campus, here at my university, and one of the things that I've noticed is like, okay, for instance, I haven't been training that long. I've only been training seriously, for real, consistently. I say probably like a good 3 years, like good 3 years consistently. And because I used to be a very, very skinny person. I was skinny as hell. I was skinny as hell. I didn't have a lot of muscle on me, and I didn't have a lot of weight on me either. But regardless of the fact, I've been able to go from 3 years ago when I was like 121, 124, which is skinny as fuck. Back when I was like 19, 18, 19, even a little bit when I was 20. So now, fast forward 3 years, I'm 23 now, and now I'm weighing about 155, 56, 57, depending on, the day, my fluctuation. And one of the things that I've noticed while training for this long, and intensely, is I didn't have like a lot of people, or at least when I started, I didn't have a lot of people where I was like, okay, I want to be like, like that person at the gym. Whenever I go to the gym, I want to be like, as strong as that person. I didn't have that because I'll be honest with most of the people that I see whenever I'm training, they're not in very good shape. I'm not gonna lie. There's some people that I see, and they're in pretty good shape. I'm not gonna lie. I'll see them, but like it'll be, just one set, maybe a little bit here, a little bit there, but it's nothing crazy where I'm saying, okay, I want to be like that person. And I go to the gym and people see me, they look at me, and I'm over here doing pull days or even during my push days sometimes, I'll have like 55 pounds, 60 pounds strapped onto my waist where I'm doing my weighted pull-ups, or, sometimes 40 pounds when I'm doing my weighted dips. And what I've noticed, because even I was training my brother for the summertime when I was back home, I was training him, and he's 14. He's 14, but he's 5'10". He's built like a linebacker, literally. If you guys was to ever see my brother in person, y'all would think he's 16, 17 years old, probably like a junior or senior in high school, because he's just built like that ever since he was little, built like a fucking linebacker. And when I was training him, because I was helping him, lose some weight, because he did have a little bit of a belly. And when I was training him, one of the things that I noticed was whenever I was training him, we would go to like Planet Fitness. So we would go to a public gym, we go to Planet Fitness, and while I was training him, one of the things that I noticed was he didn't have anybody who was guiding him, right? So nobody was really telling him, okay, you need to do this, you need to do that, do it like this, do it like that. He didn't have that. I didn't have that either when I first started, but as I went along, I kind of learned some things and learned what worked for me and how to do certain things. And so when I was training him, I was just telling him, okay, no, this is what we're doing. We're doing chest, we're doing bench press, we're doing, even though he couldn't do pull-ups, I was like, okay, we're going to do the assisted pull-up machine, or, I'm going to help you do the pull-ups with the resistance band, but I'm going to help you in lifting you up. He was weighing in 200 pounds. So I'm having to help him lift himself up at least 3 to 5 times per set, 200 pounds. It's not an easy task. Not the most difficult, but it's not easy. And one of the things that I was noticing, especially when I was training him, was that he was starting to progress very, very, very quickly. Because whenever I would train him, or whenever we would train together, actually, he was just seeing me and my results by how much I was able to, basically how much weight I was being able to push. So I was doing bench press, just like 90 to 100 pounds, which, doesn't sound like a lot, but then again, I wouldn't really train bench press like that. So, and then whenever I would do my pull-ups, he would see me that I would strap on my 45 pounds, 50, 60 pounds, and then do my pull-ups and do my 3-4 sets of weighted pull-ups. And that pushed him to where he saw, okay, I can do this, or I want to be able to be like that. And I think, at least from what I've seen, ever since I got back to campus, and what I've been noticing while I've been training at this, at the bigger gym, is that most of the people that I see whenever I train, they don't really have that, like, around them. They don't really see anybody where they're saying, okay, I want to be like that person, I want to be like that person, I want to be like him, I want to be like her, I want to have my body like her or body like him. Yeah, I see some people, that are pretty fit, and that's cool. They have some strength, but it's nothing crazy where I'm just looking at them like, damn. On the other hand, whenever I show up, and I'm not trying to say this as like to show off, but whenever I pull up, and especially on my pull days, and I strap on the weight, everybody just looks at me like, okay, like, god damn, that motherfucker's strong. Or they look at me kind of like side-eyeing me because, some people might take it as I'm flexing, or, I'm probably trying to show off for the girls. I'm not. I really don't care about the girls. Maybe at the beginning when I first started, I wanted the attention, but I don't care about that. And that's what I've been noticing. And especially now, because I've been seeing my body training consistently. I've been seeing how my body's been changing. My chest, my arms are looking a little bigger. My chest is looking a little bigger. My shirts and pants are fitting me a little tighter. And I've been seeing my changes in the mirror week after week, month after month, like year after year. And I see the progress. I see the difference. I see the changes in my own body. And I see, I just need to have that exposure to where I can tell that it's possible. I can tell with myself, and I can see around me, this is possible. That I can do something like this. I can, go ahead, put on more weight. I can push more. I can excel a lot more than what I think. Just like with my brother. He saw that it was possible. He saw what could be done, and he saw the changes that could happen if he decided to actually stick to it and be consistent and decide to actually make that change for himself. And that's what I would encourage for you guys as well, because, maybe you might be in college like I am right now. I'm finishing up my last semester before I graduate, and that's one of the things that, I've been trying to do for myself. Push myself past the limits of where I thought I could be. Being smarter, more handsome, more tan, I'm kind of pale. Being leaner, more intelligent, more charismatic. Being all the things, being more social, which, for me at least, is a little bit more difficult just because I don't get along with most people, because I think most people are fucking retarded here at my university. But that's just me. But I would encourage every single one of you guys, especially to get out of your comfort zone and try to excel and force yourself to excel, to grow, to progress to the new levels, to the new heights, pretty much to the new level, as in if you were playing a video game. Because I think about this as if it was a video game. So I'm already, let's say, for instance, I'm at level 10. I'm trying to get to a level 11, 12, 13, whatever level. I'm trying to get to the next level and excel. And do I know what that means? No, I don't. I don't know what it's going to take, but I push myself to where I'm looking at myself in the mirror and looking back like, I didn't used to be able to do that. I wasn't able to do that before, and now I'm doing it like nothing. Because like how I'm telling you guys, when I was training my mother and my brother would look at me like, you making it look like you're making all the exercises that we have to do look so easy. You're making it look like it's not even that hard. And then when we try to do it and try to mimic you, we can't really keep up with you because it's hard. Because it's a lot more difficult than what you made it look. And that would be the point. That would be the objective. That would be the goal in making it look easier than what it really is. So if that's where you are right now, you don't really have any direction. Look for something that maybe you might not be, the strongest in. You might not have the greatest advantage of, and try to excel in that. I don't know what it might be. Maybe for you, it might be different. For me, I wanted to get jacked. I'm still not at the body that I want to be at. I still don't have, the physique, because I want to look pretty much like a Greek god, not for the girls, just for me, because I've never looked like that, and I want to look like that. I want to have that physique. I want to have that aesthetics for myself, just to make myself look good. But I would encourage, I would motivate you, and I would, challenge you to push yourself to that new level, that 2.0, 3.0, whatever 0.0 it may be for you, and force yourself out of that comfort zone that you're at right now to be, and try to see, test yourself how far you can actually go. How far can I go if I know I can't fail? Even if I do fail, how far can I go before that happens? And that would be the goal that I would have, or that would be the challenge that I would have for every single one of you guys watching this video.